Okay, yeah, I had some questions about the evaporator coil, secondary drain lines in the first exterior wall video, and this is starting to make sense. I still haven't been inside yet. Okay, so now I'm in the backyard though. We have one condensing unit. We have an oversized pad. We got a refrigerant piping and our electrical conduit piping, okay, for 2 units, and one of them is missing. We have an electric service disconnect that's turned off. We have the electric service disconnect for this unit that's turned on. At one time, and I don't know how the home is configured currently, but at one time, this home had 2 HVAC systems. Okay, this is the electric service disconnect. It's over to the side. That's a good thing. It should have been sealed on these 2 sides. Now we can look inside of here and see the wiring. Okay. Alright. The unit's about far enough away. A good solid foot would have been better. It's 3 inches above. This is a heat pump system. A heat pump system. This is an all-electric home. There is no gas. So what does that mean to us is that this is like an air conditioner with a reverse, and air conditioning guys hate that when I say that, but it's true. What an air conditioning system does is it takes heat from an undesirable location and moves it to a more desirable location. You put your hand behind your refrigerator, for example, it's warm back there because your refrigerator is extracting the heat from inside of the box, and it's got to put it someplace more desirable, and behind the refrigerator is more desirable than having, you know, your cheese get moldy and your milk curdle and your beer get hot, whatever it is, name your pleasure. So, and that's what it is. If you unplug the refrigerator, heat goes to less heat. So the heat would attack the refrigerator until eventually the inside of the refrigerator, it's insulated, it'll stay cold for a while, and it'll stay warm for a while because it's insulated. But eventually, it will equalize. The inside temperature of the refrigerator would become the same as the exterior. And then you turn the refrigerator back on and start pumping, extracting the heat again. And that's what our air conditioner is. It's much like a refrigerator. So we've got today, on a day like today, we've got heat inside of the house. We want to extract it. So the fan drags the air over the coils inside, where those that piping on the wall we were looking at. Then this piping goes to those coils, and it takes the heat that it collected, it comes down here and moves it through a change of state and all this stuff. And you feel your hand right here, okay, it's warm. It's warm. That's the heat coming out of the house. It's actually pumping the heat. I know, it's a little confusing. Now, there's no such thing as cold. No such thing as cold. No such thing as hot, for that matter. Those are sensations. Okay, there's only heat. If it's 90 degrees outside, if you have 90 degrees of heat outside, it feels hot. If you have 40 degrees of heat outside, it feels cold. But it feels cold because there are only 40 degrees of heat as compared to 70 degrees. So what a heat pump does is it takes in the heating mode, it takes the heat that's available outside and runs it in reverse. It runs it across these coils, extracts that heat, pumps it inside, delivers it inside. It's a very efficient, you know, a lot of people say that electricity is expensive in Texas is because we spend most of our time managing heat. Okay, too much of it. If you go up north, they say that, you know, the gas prices are high. It's not that the prices are high, because they are. It's not that the prices are high, it's that you use more electricity. So we have a longer summer season, our electric bills are higher. Up north, they have a longer winter season, and typically their gas bills are higher. Excuse me. Now what a heat pump does is, believe it or not, this is a very efficient system. It's a very efficient system, but we use more electricity, so you're going to see it reflected in the bill. But a heat pump is actually, it's a very efficient, you know, for our traditional. There's always solar and thermal energy and all those other things. But, you know, for the most part, it's our most efficient conventional cooling heating systems. So there we have it. All right, well, enough about that. This should be sealed on 3 sides, like I said. Our coils are dirty. Our coils are dirty. We have holes from the piping that should have been sealed, better sealed, to help prevent water from getting into the wall system. This should have been sealed as well. This one has been turned off. Since I'm looking at that, it's not in use. This is our data plate. Okay, and our data plate, what we're learning is that this is a 4-ton system. We'll have to check it inside and see how we're working. It's 11 years old. This equipment's engineered on paper to last 20. It might last 35. But Las Vegas is going to give you 14. 14 years is about how long this equipment lasts in North Texas. So I can't condemn it based on its age. In fact, its age is 11 years old. It's not even 14 years old. But it's not a new unit. It's not a new unit. You should be aware that you're buying into an older unit. This refrigerant piping insulation no longer meets energy requirements. It's supposed to be, see how that gets hard and cracked and compromised? It's supposed to be a nice hard, and then we're supposed to have anti-theft Schrader valves. Well, you have Schrader valves. Look that up in the dictionary. Air conditioning service port valves, valve caps. The valve caps should be anti-theft. So what do we learn? Well, besides it being a 4-ton unit and 14 SEER. Alright, is it there somewhere? I know it is. Yeah, there it is. We learned that our coils are dirty. We have the wrong kind of insulation. We do not have the proper caps. The condensing unit is dirty and the disconnect should be sealed. Those are the things that we learned. That's not that much. That's not too much. Those are all the usual sins. These walls, that should all be addressed as well.